Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Raiti from Raiti's Rides. I'm out here in California for a deeper dive first look of this vehicle right here. What is it? This is the one you've been waiting for. It's a 2024 Acura Integra, and guess what? An Integra Type S. But before we get into this fender flared 6-speed manual transmission Type S version of the Integra, let's talk about what's going on here. 1986, that was a major year, the first year of Acura and the first year of the Integra. Now, it has been a while since that Integra name appeared on an Acura product, especially when the Integra went from being called that to the RSX. Then there was a disappearance, but you know what? Acura surprised everybody with bringing the Integra name back to their lineup. And in the beginning, some people were frustrated. They were wanting more of an Integra Type R experience. Well, guess what? Building upon their precision crafted performance and keeping a promise near and dear to their heart at the TLX Type S drive event back in 2021 at Laguna Seca, they have fulfilled, bringing more of that performance to their lineup. Now, the Type S of the Integra, it's not just about performance, it's about driving engagement. It's about having fun while you are doing the act of driving. But what I want to find out is, we heard what the price is, and if you don't know what the price yet of the Integra Type S is, I will be bringing it to you in this review. But what I want to do is I want to go deeper in showing you what the Integra Type S has to offer, and at the end of this review, I want you to be able to answer, is it worth the price? So let's go ahead, let's dive into our platinum white Integra Type S and find out. Right off the bat, the color. Obviously, I have an FL5 Type R. I love championship white, but I'm really digging the platinum white. Now, when you go to the front of the business, what are we seeing? You're still gonna see that same great headlight design like you find on your standard Integra. You got the Acura name in there, all blacked out, that multi-jewel LED beam headlights, your daytime running lamps, and the chicane set up to those daytime running lamps with your turn signals. Now, one thing you're gonna notice over your standard Integra, 2.8 inches of extra width. Check it out. They actually give you a unique front fascia where you could see that flare start on the bottom portion, then into the metal fender, all one piece. This is not stuck on at the front like you would find, say, on a Dodge Challenger wide body. These are all blended in seamless. Now you'll notice on the lower portion how they have that lower lip that extends out to help give us some nice airflow to these massive functional corner air intakes. We got all sorts of aero that's gonna flow, brake cooling, and everything in between. A little bit of gloss black. I'm glad they didn't gloss black the whole front of this thing. That would have kind of made it a little muddy, but I'm really loving the aggressive style. I think a lot of people that maybe thought that the FL5 Type R was a little too clean is gonna love the aggressive styling of this Type S Integra. Now, as we come across that center grille, it's all about that precision crafted performance. You'll notice the wider openings to all of the intricate grille pieces. This is gonna flow more air for better cooling and aero. You got your Acura badge, and of course, we got the return of Type S to the Integra name, which is big historical moment. Now, one of my favorite parts is in this lower grille area, you do have full functionality, but I like the way it's flat black. It really helps shows the width. Remember, 2.8 inches. Can you imagine getting an extra 2.8 inches? You wake up the next day, you get that with the Integra Type S, and I like the way there's platinum white on that lower lip. Now, as we rise up, before I get onto the hood, I do want to show, just like the standard Integra, you got that name stamped in there. So much history going back to 1986. And then we talk about this aluminum vented hood. So you got that nice peak in the center, rises up, it dissipates. And then I love the way they carved this little valley and gave you a functional heat extractor. Air is gonna be pulled out from underneath that hood. Looks good, and I like the way it's got a different flavor than the FL5. So far, over a standard Integra, you got wider body work, you got more functionality, and you have a unique hood. Now, as we come around the bend, and I gotta go wide because we have that wide fender flare, looky what I have. We have the optional copper wheels, not bronze, These are copper wheels, multi-spoke design, 19-inch wheel. It's actually 19 by 8.5 inches, all four corners. Love the way you got your copper color. Standard is gonna be shark gray. Look at the touches. They actually give you blacked out lug nuts. I know that's not a big deal, but a lot of brands put chrome or silver. Acura looks at all the details and they know that the black, it just looks better. You're gonna have that monoblock 4-piston Brembo caliper with the Acura name. And I like the way it has a little bit darker red finish than what's on the Type R. Of course, you're gonna have your 2-piece rotor, over 14 inches in diameter, 2-piece rotor. And of course, we have adaptive suspension, all four corners, and a limited slip diff. So think about that. When you're thinking about that price, and we're getting ready soon to tell you the price, these are all performance upgrades, limited slip diff, the wheels, the brakes, the whole shabam. Yes, it's front wheel drive, no all-wheel drive on the Type S Integra, and it still has that 6-speed manual. Now, as we come down the side, I'm gonna have Lori kind of swing around and show you that wonderful fender flare. You got the Type S badge, and then I like the way that they brought the color matched up on top of the mirror caps, your LED turn signals, so slim and trim. Up on the roof, let me know how you feel. There's no sunroof. No sunroof available. Let me know if you're gonna zonk that or not. Me, I personally don't care. It gives you a more rigid structure. And a lot of times I bought cars in the past with sunroofs and I never used them. So let me know how you feel about that. You'll notice how you have a unique side sill extension. And remember, compared to a Civic Type R, there's nothing shared here. The doors are unique to the Integra. The side molding is unique to the Integra Type S. So that's where we're seeing those special touches. Now we have that nice Sportback design into the rear doors. And you'll notice now on the doors, they weren't gonna recreate the rear body of the vehicle. So what they did was, and I'm gonna have Lori swing back around this way, is you have your flared fender, which is stuck on. As you can see, I open up the door, there's your stuck on fender flare. But you know what? It still looks clean, and I like the way that they didn't do like the FK8 Type R and just had the slash. They brought it all the way around. So something to think about. It's just these two pieces. Just two pieces on each side. Now, when we're looking at the rear wheels and brakes, the rotors are larger out back compared to your standard Integra. And remember, all four corners, we have 265 on the width, 30 series sidewall, and these are those Michelin Pilot Sport 4S tires. Give you good grip and give you good wear characteristics. Now, as we rise back up and we swing it around, you'll notice on the rear bumper area, there's that flared fender built into the actual rear bumper. You have those great, sleek, seductive taillights, and I love the way they do all the LED lighting. The Integra name stamped right into the back, and look at another thing. Besides the copper wheels, we got lucky. We got very spoiled by Acura. They gave us an example with the optional carbon fiber spoiler. Absolutely love it. Look at the way it's got a nice aggressive kick up, a little cut in the center, full carbon from one side to the other. There's our Type S badge, never looked better. And then dropping it like it's hot all the way down to ground level. Now we have a totally different rear diffuser. Love the way that it's got that area that rises up and really keeps this back end very slim. It even has the cutout, just like the original 1986 Integra, to open up the hatch. But dropping it back down, you have your 4.333333 repeating diameter pipes. Your 3 pipes, 4.333 repeating on the opening. And one of the things that's gonna make this Integra Type S louder and sound more aggressive than a Type R stock to stock is we have a very unique valve that's gonna adjust on the fly depending on what mode you're in, but also they deleted the resonator in front of the catalytic converter. So that's gonna give us a little bit more sound, but you know what? It's looking good. I love a good rear end of a car. This rear end, it's the chef's kiss, loving it. Let's pop the hood though and see what's powering this Integra Type S. All right guys, we got the hood popped. You do have a prop rod. The good news is it's way out of the way so you could see full access of that engine compartment. I love the way they have that dark red engine cover with the faux carbon fiber. You got the Type S badge there, but what are we talking about? Obviously very similar to the sister vehicle, the Honda Civic Type R, but we got more power. So that K20C 2-liter inline-4 turbocharged engine is now producing 320 horsepower, 310 pound-feet of torque. It is mated to a 6-speed manual transmission. The great news is that they reworked the torque distribution. Torque starts to come in at 2,600 RPM peak torque, all the way up to 4,000 RPM. Obviously the engine revs higher than 4,000 RPM. You got a limited slip diff, a top speed of 167 miles per hour. If you know how to do the dance with your twinkle toes in that 6-speed manual transmission, 0 to 60 in about 4.7 seconds. You got the adaptive suspension, all 4 corners. And like I said, those wheels are 19 by 9.5, all 4 corners. And when you're looking at power, so this has 320 horsepower going back to 92 and 93 with the Integra GSR that had 160 horsepower. The 97 to 2001 Type R had 195 horsepower, and the last of its kind, the 05-06 RSX Type S, had 210 horsepower. So think about that. I know we all want to go back and have that same setup, but we have more power per liter than we did originally with the old OG versions of the GSR and the Integra Type R, and of course the RSX Type S. But why don't we go ahead, it's about that time. Let's fire up this K20C and hear what it sounds like. All right, guys, we are inside this 2024 Acura Integra Type S. And even though we already brought you the interior and me sitting in it at the Long Beach Grand Prix, there's just something about this one. I get to go wherever I want with it because we have the keys. Now, I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, I wasn't sure that I heard the price correctly when they announced it. And I know you're talking about, is it worth the price? Do you mind telling us what is the MSRP for this Integra Type S? Of course I don't mind. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to bring you the information, help you, help yourself make the right decision. MSRP for the Integra Type S, the way this one sits, it's right around $51,000. Let's see what you get for the money on the inside. To the door panels. Acura Integra greatness. The two-tone soft touch material up top. I love the silver on the door handle. That's actually the size of an Acura belt buckle that they wear at headquarters. You have your ELS Studio 3D premium sound system with the aluminum trim. Real aluminum, not the fake stuff. Two-tone is the name of the game, and boy, does Acura play that game well. That dark cherry red, nice soft armrest with the stitching. No gloss black around the switchgear. Door pocket, pretty decent size. You'll probably be able to get one California burger and a small fry from In-N-Out Burger, and of course a chocolate milkshake to wash it down. Now, when you're going from the door panel to the dash, this is where, like I showed you before, it does not look like the Civic Type R. You do have the metal finish for the AC vents that are sort of hidden there. But then I like the way they did this non-glare, non-fingerprint material and the red, especially the way the red wraps it all the way around to the center console. You slide on in, you're getting 9 inches. 9 inches of infotainment system, and this is where I gotta zonk it. First of all, as you can see, it's not colorful. It's black and white, and there's no navigation. So yes, you have wireless Apple CarPlay. Yes, you have wireless Android Auto and a real volume knob, but no actual built-in navigation. They give you a compass. We're heading southwest right now. But other than that, I feel like this could have been a little bit nicer with some specific touches for the Integra Type S. Let me throw it into reverse. There's your backup camera. Resolution is decent, not the greatest, but it is very easy to change the angles just by touching the screen, which is a pleasure. And then you're right back to where you started. You do get dual climate control. I love the way they have the aluminum finish on the knobs. You do get also 3 stages of heated seats, no ventilated seats. Let me know if you think that should be a zonk at $51,000. We do have 12 volt. You're gonna wanna run a radar detector, USB-C, USB-A, and wireless charging. And then this is where the goodness is. This is where it all comes together. I love the aluminum Type S, just like the original Type R, the Integra Type R. You have your Type S stamped in. Look at the shift knob, unique to the Integra Type S. You got the aluminum finish with the red and your gear pattern, red stitching, perforated leather, nice short throws, crisp engagement, even an Alcantara shift boot with red stitching. And the great news is they have an optional titanium shift knob that's an exact replica of the Integra Type R back from the 90s. I think that's going to be a worthy thing to get and put on. Now, I'm going to move this out of the way so Lori could show you that we have our dynamic mode switch controls. We have, of course, individual, but I'll show you those modes when you come to the driver's side. You got 2 large cup holders, one for a Yeti can, one for a smaller bottle, maybe a Bigfoot can, and then we have more of that soft, nice leather. Lift it up. What do we have? Unique Integra Type S key fob with the buttons on the back. And you have enough room in there, I would say, for 28 Atari game cartridges. And what's interesting is we're not too far from where the original Atari headquarters was located. And here's a little extra fun fact, just because I love my Raity's Rides family. Atari was named Atari because it sounded Japanese. It's actually an American company here in California. Little fun fact for you. And then the seats. I do like the Type S, the way they stamped that in there. The microfiber suede material. They did increase the bolstering over your standard Integra seat. I wish they would have went a little bit more on the bottom side, but the biggest zonk is manual seat controls for the passenger. I have fully electric assist because I'm the driver of this crazy car, but manual seat controls for the passenger, a bit of a zonk. And I know some of you, there's no sunroof, so let me know how you feel about that. But why don't you come over to the business side? I want to show you behind the wheel of this Integra Type S. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel. Come on in. What do you have? Look at this beautiful aluminum sill plate with the Type S badge there, looking good. And then, of course, we have our triple pedal action, aluminum clutch, brake pedal, and throttle, perfectly placed. You could even do your heel-toe downshifting if you want to. You do have a dead pedal. I just wish that they would have put the aluminum finish on it, so that's a zonk. But if you notice, we have our seat controls, 12-way adjustable for the driver's side. You could get that lower lumbar kicking. And remember, I'm 6 feet tall. I do love the way they shaped the headliner and everything in this vehicle. Even though it's a compact car, it still feels really spacious. And then, of course, what do you get to rub your hands all over? Not just that shift lever and that shift knob, but also the steering wheel. 2-piece leather, the perforated and the smooth, the red stitching all the way around. Look, you got another Type S badge, let you know that you did it right. We have flat black on the switchgear. It is a manual tilting and telescoping steering wheel. And then you have that 10.25-inch display. And watch, this is what I wasn't able to show you in Long Beach. I could go through the different modes. So you have sport, and the gauges change a little bit. But the biggest news is when you go Sport Plus, because the actual needles are bright yellow, just like the original Integra Type R. Love the way they have that on this Type S. You could scroll through a cornucopia, a plethora of information inside the gauges. Of course, your fuel, but I don't care about fuel range. What I care about, look at that boost gauge there. We have throttle and braking, and you have a G meter, which I can't wait to do. And then, of course, one thing that you have over an a Civic Type R is you have a 5.4-inch head-up display giving you some important information. But why don't we go ahead, let's get in the back seat and see, is it really gonna be fun as you're ripping the twisty bits for your passengers in the back seat. All right, guys, we're in the back seat of this Integra Type S. And this is another area where, you know, once upon a time, a compact car, the back seat would be so cramped that you would have to fold yourself like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and get back here. Well, guess what? You get to stretch out and be comfortable and enjoy whoever's driving you. Hopefully they know how to drive well. Enjoy that twisty bit action. Now, the bad news, the zonk is, I hope you only have 3 other friends, because if you have 4 other friends, one of them is going to be SOL. Because there's no mid-seat in the Integra Type S. What they do, like the Type R, they just give you 2 cup holders. There's not even an armrest. So don't tell your friends to get too comfortable back here, because they're not gonna be able to, because there's no center armrest. Backs of the seats though, you got the leather all the way around. Massive pockets where you could put all sorts of stuff like this. Oh, I wasn't supposed to show you this. This is top secret information. As you can see, it's the Integra First Drive. Remember, First Drive is gonna be, set your clock, June 19th, 9 a.m. Eastern time. But you could put important information, top secret, confidential information in these pockets, and hopefully I won't see it or nobody else will see it. What they won't see back here, nothing. 2 AC vents, where are they? That's a zonk, and no connectivity. So you better tell your friends, make sure everybody charges up your equipment before you get in the back seat, because if it goes dead, you're SOL. So something to kind of have like a warning label on the back seat area. It would have been nice at this price point to at least give me a USB, God forbid, a 12 volt, but you do have that premium ELS sound system in the headliner. And I do like the way I'm sitting. I feel very comfortable, but why don't we go ahead, let's get to that cargo area and see if it's true that we could haul the mail in this Integra Type S. All right, guys, time to get in that cargo area. This is one of those things that when we talk about performance cars, a lot of times you sacrifice cargo space. Check it out though, that nice Sportback design lifts up and you're gonna be greeted to over 23 cubic feet of space. I love how low the cargo floor is. Of course, if you're gonna go to your favorite racetrack, you got the perfect area for a full box of track Twinkies. On the passenger side, we have that ELS Studio 3D subwoofer. Even you could see how on the rear pillar area, there's more of those speakers. That's what's gonna give you that awesome, unique sound. Do we have a spare? No spare. When you're going performance, you sacrifice the spare for a can of flat fix and an electric air compressor. But the great news is, if this isn't enough room for your Costco run, when you're getting your 50-gallon drum of mayonnaise and ketchup and mustard for your 4th of July hot dog eating competition, look at what we got. 60-40 split, and you don't have to go over to the passenger seats. You could just get it right from the back and not go in through the door, and it easily, watch this, 1, 2, 3, boom. Look at how much room we have now. Now you could get the hot dog buns, you could get that big old case of 900 hot dogs, and you are ready for grilling and chilling and winning at your hot dog eating competition. Now, I know you want those words. Let's go on throttle together. Not yet. June 19th. Mark your calendar. It's well before 4th of July, so you can still prep for the hot dog eating competition. June 19th, 9 a.m. Eastern time. You and I have a date. What are we doing? We're going on throttle on the twisty bits in this Integra Type S. But until that time, let's go ahead and wrap it up from California. All right, guys, it's been one amazing day out here in California, having that California love. Definitely got to thank Andrew, Jonathan, the whole team over at Acura. Can't forget about Jake with getting us access to this 2024 Integra Type S. Let me know what you think. Do all of the sum of its parts equal to that price? Do you think it's worth the price, or are you going to take your money somewhere else? Let them know down in the comment section. Stay tuned, because like I said, we're doing that first drive. When is that happening? June 19th at 9 a.m. Eastern time. Set your clock, sundial, tattoo it on your arm. I don't care what you have to do, but be there with us going on throttle June 19th, 9 a.m. Eastern time. But if you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raity's Rides family. Of course, we need to give it up to the person that not only knows how to handle a camera, but also can road through a 6-speed manual transmission like nobody's business. Lori Gibbons Raiti, working that camera. Show her some love in the comment section. Thank you, Lori, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.